This is just a FaceTime call with my besties, period. Hey my babies, I'm back with another video. It's your girl, adorekristiana. If you're new here, welcome. For my babies who are subscribed, who always watch my videos, if you're not subscribed, subscribe! Y'all know that I don't typically make chit chat videos, but today and just as of recently, I've just been having this topic on my mind. If you read the title, then you know exactly what I'm going to get into today. The Lord, my angels, and the universe just want me to share it. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hop right into it. So if you want to hear some more, then stick around and let's get into it. Let's start back when social media was beginning, okay? Snapchat, Twitter, at least starting for me. I was in about middle school once I was finally allowed to do any of that stuff, okay? My parents was not playing. So Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. I didn't really have an Instagram for a long while, I feel like. Everyone in school had it and I was connecting with them through all of those platforms. Out of all of them, I'm pretty sure I was on Snapchat the most. After a while being on Twitter and just filling out the scene, I realized quickly that it wasn't like fun for me. Like it really wasn't my thing. On social media, it's really meant for you to share. And I've always been a very private person, and I mean, I still am. I'm very picky about what I share, who I share it with, and I quickly noticed that like social media is really just about you sharing. Middle school all the way up until high school, even college, which I graduated about a year ago, it wasn't sticking. So I had phases where I would get on it just because people would mention it to me and say like, oh, I don't see you on social media. Like last time I seen you on Snapchat was like 6 months ago, and and I'm just like, yeah, not my thing. I be scrolling, like I be watching, but it's not my thing. I never quite felt the pressure to get on there just because people was on there, but for my own purposes and trying to practice being more social and practice sharing a little bit more, I would get on there every once in a while. I would kind of like make an Instagram story, and sometimes I would go out places and I'd feel cute, so I'd post an Instagram picture, go on Snapchat just to show that I was doing something, you know. This was back in high school, but yeah, it just wasn't fulfilling to me. It got to the point where my mindset was really just like, if I'm gonna be on social media, I want there to be a purpose. And not even knowing exactly what I meant by that at the time, I just knew that scrolling passively and liking things just to get someone's attention, sometimes like people use social media just to feel seen or out of boredom, and then out of habit. Like after a while, you don't even notice how much you really do scroll through that mess every day. And yes, I say mess because I also realized that before I even really knew how much your mental health can be affected through too much consumption of social media, I already had this notion in my head that like, that cannot be good for you. You have to control what it is that you are intaking, especially with Instagram. Like, you can't control what you're seeing. It wasn't as bad back in the first years in that first era of Instagram because you were more in control of what you saw. You only saw what your followers posted, and that was pretty much it. There's no more to it. Nowadays, obviously, the algorithm is different. There's a bunch of advertisements. People who you favor more on Instagram, meaning like you like their pictures more, you view their stories more, they pop up more, or if they have more popularity. And the explore page, oh my goodness. So it's just to the point where it's so much to consume. It's just becoming such a norm that I don't think people notice how their minds, their perspectives, their emotions are being changed and affected solely by what they are intaking, kind of allowing through that gate without even like an interview or like a preface, like, okay, you know what I mean? What do you think will happen if you just let a bunch of random strangers in your house? You letting a bunch of BS into your mind and, you know, we're not thinking about it. That was just something I had awareness on way in the beginning, not way in the beginning, but midway through me trying to feel out, okay, do I really want to be on social media a lot? Like, do I want to sit here and force myself to make a story? Like, you know, those times that I tried, I noticed like this is a lot. This is a lot. By the time I was in like sophomore year, that's when I determined that I want to work on my mental, and I don't want any outside sources to affect the way that I think, the way that I view things, the way that I view people. I don't want it to influence my preferences. You know what I mean? Just preferences in life. I hope that makes sense, but I just felt like, you know, social media in general is such a big influence in general, and I wanted to have my own mind. I am my own person, and I want to grow up to know me, and not know this girl that formed over time because of the things I was watching and the things I was listening to and the people that I was inspired by, that naturally I wouldn't have given them the time of day if they weren't forced in my face from social media and just me scrolling and things popping up. Your mind really just soaks all of that up. And I even find to this day, when I am on Instagram, I cannot stop scrolling. It's like I say I'm about to get off after I watch this post, and then my finger scrolls just a little bit, even by accident, and then I'm like, and I'm pulled back in like, wait, what that say? Oh wait, what they just do? Y'all, like, that's not normal, okay? And that is something that I always take notice of and stay aware of, because I don't want to be sucked in for too long. Like, our minds aren't built for that. They're trying to be receptive of it and like figure out how to go about it, but at the end of the day, like, only we're in control. Like, our minds didn't know this shit back when we were evolving millions of years ago, okay? So you have to stay in control. So that's just my spiel on that. Your girl was trying to keep up with the Joneses, but I knew pretty soon that it just wasn't for me. It wasn't fun, it wasn't fulfilling. I wasn't getting anything out of watching other people. I wasn't in a place where I wanted to just share everything about me, and that just had never been my thing. In high school especially, that's why I never actually had like tight, close-knit friends, was because being on the cheer team, being on the color guard team, being like a big associate type of person and always kind of like mingling around with people, everyone just wants to tell their business. And if it's not their business, they want to tell somebody else's business, and I ain't never been about that business. You feel me? When it came to social media, it was the same thing I was noticing. And I'm like, you know what? No. If I ever decide to be on social media consistently, there's going to be a purpose behind it. There's going to be an incentive. There's going to be intention, right? With that being said, my favorite social media platform that I turned to in those years when I found that nothing was sticking, not Snapchat, not Instagram, not Twitter, not Facebook, was YouTube. YouTube, ever since I started to go natural, which was in 2014, 2015, freshman year of high school, that is when my interest in YouTube began to grow, because I was always on there trying to find out, should I big chop? Like, what even is a big chop? Should I transition? What could my hair potentially look like underneath this perm? So I was constantly like doing my research, and I found that I loved watching natural hair videos. And at that point, I couldn't get enough. That was it for me. Like, this was my platform, period. That is when I felt like I found my safe space. I found what kind of content I like to consume. I can be in control of what I'm watching, because I literally have to type in what I want to see. I can scroll through the recommendeds, but it's not going to automatically play in my face. I can decide what I want to watch. And from YouTube, I also realized that I love long form videos. Like, it's just something for me to relax, unwind, like decompress. You know, I don't have to keep scrolling. I can prop my phone up, open up my laptop, set it down, and I can watch whatever I want for as long as I want. No interruption. That is when I fell in love with YouTube. Fast forward about 4 more years. It's my senior year of high school. I was going through my transition, and I'm thinking like, I'm so glad I did this transition when I did, because I'm about to go to college and I'm about to be wearing my natural hair. Like, I'm about to be that college baddie, okay? By the time I graduated high school, my hair was all grown out, and I was so excited to go to college and just be this baddie. Like, just be the me that I've always wanted to be as far as my hair goes, experimenting with it. And I was just so excited. Like, hair has always been my passion. In 3rd grade, I would beg my mom to do my freaking hair before school, and her knowing it was going to turn out a mess, some days she let me, okay? But that was my passion. I always wanted to do my hair. Here I am for the first time in my life, ready to experiment with the natural hair that grows out of my scalp. You understand me? The first time in my life. I got a perm when I was 10, and now I'm in high school and I'm finally like knowing what my hair looks like. So by the time I got into college, that is when my wheels started turning as far as having thoughts about making my own YouTube channel. I was just getting used to working with my natural hair and trying new styles and just getting to know my natural texture. And I think that really prompted this vision of having my own channel and being like all of the young women that I looked up to and who I got my inspiration from as far as styles and just loving my natural hair texture. Yeah, so your girl was thinking about it a lot, and I didn't do it obviously. But when I think about something and I think long and hard about it, good chances I'm gonna do it eventually. So obviously that is what happened. But it wasn't until I graduated college that I was having this feeling of, okay, what's next? I mean, as most of us do. So I was just really feeling like, okay, what's next? Like, what is next for me? That is when I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start practicing this social media thing. Like, I do want to be on social media. I've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel for years now. I haven't really been on social media all throughout college. Like, why don't I make a name for myself? Like, start a business or do something that sparked passion and could potentially make me money. So my first thought was, maybe I should offer hair services. After that thought, I literally made a price list of what I would do and how much it would cost. I put it on Instagram and I'm like, bet, okay, like this will pick up when it picks up, but like I'm not really in a rush. I just want to see like how this is gonna go and if I even want to do it, you know? For months prior, had been doing her research. I mean, research. Like, your girl dived all the way in terms of what to do to start a YouTube channel. So after I made that price list and I put it up, I'm like, all right, you know what, bet. In the meantime, I'm going to be practicing making content. And this was such an exciting time for me. It was so different. I started making reels. I started practicing in my mom's bathroom, piling up shoe boxes just to sit my camera on. I found some makeshift ring lights in her house that I put up in there. I would literally just do my hair as usual, but I would practice talking to the camera. I would practice my angles and seeing like how I want to go about it and what kind of lighting I needed. It felt really natural in terms of I always do my hair at least twice a week anyway, so I might as well just put the camera up and just practice. And I started to feel like, okay, like I can get with this. I'm only gonna get better if I keep trying. I started going on live more just to feel what it would be like to interact with other people via like camera. I'm thinking about it now, like, okay, girl, go ahead, you go ahead. So yeah, I was doing all of that and I was like kind of being my own hype man and just trying to get myself primed to like really go ahead and start this thing. So I was doing that for about a month and I put out a few reels and just filling out what kind of content I want to do. Do I want to go outside of hair? I was pretty much just doing hair content and everything like that. After about a month of doing that and practicing in the mirror, being on live every week, doing my wash day Wednesday little series on live, I randomly got this DM on Instagram from a woman who owns a salon, and she offered me a position in her salon. Now, mind you, I recently put out a price list for styles that I was gonna offer, and I guess she saw that, or maybe it was just God, but she DM'd me offering me a spot in her salon. So at that point, me being in a position where I want to feel purposeful, I want to have something to do, I want to learn new skills, I'm like, is this real? Hold on. I remember going downstairs and showing my mom, like, look, like, is this for real? Like, is this a scam? And she was like, oh my goodness, no, that's real. Like, that's a real opportunity. So I'm like, Wow. So I'm thinking about it, and in the end I decided to go through with it. I have a whole interview, we meet up, we talk, the vibes are good, we both feeling like this is a good match, and your girl ended up working in a salon. The first few months were so fun. I was learning new skills. My boss was teaching me everything I had to know. Shout out to her. She was so patient with me, and she really believed in me and saw me as like part of her team. That was just such a great experience for me because I love to learn new things. Like, I never want to stop learning. So especially when it came to hair, I was just like, yes, count me all the way in. Then soon I started getting my own clientele versus having her recommend me to some of her old clients and stuff like that. Being there made me feel like I was starting a new phase and learning new things, and I really felt like it was a useful era in my life. I personally felt useful. It wasn't until about the 6-month mark that I found that I wasn't as excited anymore, and it finally occurred to me, like, as much as I've grown up in a salon setting, my mom working in a dual hair salon, nail salon when I was a kid, my uncle having his own barbershop, unisex barbershop at that, I never had the desire to work behind one of those chairs. And it took working there for as long as I did for that to finally like click for me, because all that excitement going in and having clients soon turned into anxiety, and I was just like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? Once that 6-month mark hit, that's when I started to think more and more about starting my YouTube channel. And I was thinking like, wow, as soon as I got this opportunity, I just dropped everything as far as content because I was zoned in. Like, I was tuned in, I was ready to go. I wanted this to be great. I wanted to put my all into it. Mind you, I'm still working my first original job, and I'm working in the salon. There wasn't really any room for content as it is, especially if I also wanted to put my all into my content. And I realized, like, this isn't for me. Nah, this isn't for me. But I wanted to make sure it wasn't just me getting lazy or maybe being, what's the word, that I wasn't getting as much clientele as I wanted. I wanted to be sure that I really just flat out didn't have a passion for it. In the meantime, while I was figuring that out, I was thinking more and more about my YouTube channel, and I would talk to my boyfriend about it a lot. Like, he was the only person I really expressed it to, because, you know, a lot of things that you do in life, you shouldn't really speak on to too many people, or you'll probably never do it, or it won't turn out the way that you expect because, you know, you threw a bunch of different energies and outlooks on your goal. And so, yeah, I didn't really talk to too many people about it. Every time I spoke to him about it, he would say, well, what are you waiting for? Why not now? Obviously, the fear in me would kind of just be like, oh, because I need to do this and I'm not the best me yet and I don't have equipment. Even I knew at the time that was excuses, and I slowly started to replay that statement in my head. Why not now? We were on the phone one night and we were talking about it, and he said, listen, just place a date on it. Place a deadline on when you need to post your first video. And I was like, all right, you know what, vet, that's a vet. So at the time it was October. I said anywhere between your birthday and my birthday, I'm gonna post my first video. His birthday's in November, my birthday is in January. I ended up brainstorming, getting the equipment I need, all of those other good things for my final touches as a perfectionist, okay? By January 9th, my first YouTube video was up. If you want to see for kicks, okay, here it is right here. Go ahead and watch it. I'm only, what, 10 months in now, and I'm already cringing at that, okay? I came a long way already. So I noticed like something was definitely changing in me, and I knew that creating my YouTube channel was still in the back of my mind. I accepted the opportunity because I was in this phase where I wanted to have my thing. I wanted to feel purposeful and everything like that, you know. But I started to feel like that wasn't the case. All that pressure on having to make the customer happy and doing only what the customer wants and not being able to really express my own creativity as far as hair goes, that was not what was fulfilling me. Soon enough, she started to feel that vibe. As much as I was going in trying to stay positive, trying to do my duties without rubbing off any bad energy, eventually she started to feel that. And I'm somebody who, it makes sense for her to have felt it, because when I'm happy, you know it. When I'm mad, I'm sad, you know it. What you see is what you get. I don't try and do that cover up fake shit, da 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 da. So the fact that I was trying my best to put my best foot forward while in the shop, come our next meeting, she told me that, you know, she felt that. And in that same meeting was when I went into it deciding that I was going to tell her how I'd been feeling and that the passion isn't there. I told her how much I respected her vision for her salon long term, how honored I felt for her to be willing to keep me on long term and be a part of that vision. But the fact that I didn't have a passion for it, I didn't want to misconstrue that vision that she had. And I felt like she deserved somebody who has that same passion for her salon and where it was gonna go. And so I told her all of that, and I told her my heart is really into my YouTube channel. I've been doing videos once a week at that point, and I really want to give it more of my time. Like, that's really where my heart is and where I feel that my passion is. I want to see for sure if that is so, but I have to pursue it the way that I want to pursue it to really be sure. She respected that 100%. She took my delivery very well, and as shocked and disappointed as she was, you know, she respected that decision and the fact that I brought these thoughts to her the way that I did. So we did end on a good note, although I ended up telling her I would stay for as long as I needed to uphold my contract and or for her to get like someone to fill my chair. And you guys, when I tell you my head from that point on was all the way into my channel, it seemed like the universe was pushing me towards my channel at that point, because number one, my clientele plummeted after that. Like, I mean, plummeted. Like, I literally was not getting any type of clients. I would just be reporting to the shop just to be like a helping hand, kind of, when in reality not too much help was needed. So it got to the point where I would be in there just on my phone editing, making a thumbnail, like, and my boss is over there with her clients. And over time, over those next few weeks, it was starting to piss her off. You know, she's like, okay, like, you're here, but you're not doing anything. I don't see you really posting on your hair page anymore to get any more clientele. Obviously, unintentionally, I'm making her feel this way because I'm just not cruel like that. Like, I'm not going to purposely make someone upset, especially in their own business. Like I said, it was just kind of the universe pushing everything to a head as far as being where I'm at now. But it got to the point where she was fed up, and she came downstairs with a contract one day, said we gotta talk, and it was a termination contract. Your girl got the boot, okay? It was actually one of the most happiest moments in my life, because I made that promise to stay for as long as I needed to finish out the contract for her to get someone else. But y'all, my heart was not in it, not even a little bit. Like I mentioned, she felt that from weeks before. We discussed it. She now knew why, and it just got to the point where she's like, yeah, just go do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Thank you. We go do what you gotta do. You know, she felt bad that she even had to do that, but there's certain standards she had in her shop, and I feel like it worked out for the both of us. She got me as an acute burden out of her shop, and I was able to go ahead and do exactly what my heart and God and the universe and the angels was telling me to do. And ever since then, I've been putting out 2 videos a week. Subscribe to the channel, y'all. I always got videos coming for y'all. If I didn't go through that experience and have that opportunity prior to me going all out with my content and creating my channel, I feel like every step that I made forward with my channel, I would have been second guessing or doubting and wondering. So I feel like the fact that I took the opportunity, tried it out for myself, and put myself in it to really see how I would feel about it was key to the security and the confidence that I feel now that I have with my channel and everything that I do with it and all the time that I put into it. That was a phase, and now I'm reassured that I'm doing what I'm meant to do and I'm doing something that I really do have a passion in. But now that I've been doing my content and I have my flow, I have my schedule, and I work it in while still working at my part-time job, it really does work for me. So I'm so happy that even though I'm not monetized on my channel yet, I'm still able to make my money on the side and do what I love to do. Of course, when I started out, I wasn't sure if I was gonna fall in love with it, but that's another reason why I wanted to start, because I needed to know, is this something that I'm just kind of playing up in my head, or is it something that's like true to my heart? So I finally got serious about it and created a consistent schedule for myself to really practice and to see growth. I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. I only want to talk to you guys more, get to know you guys more, allow you guys to get to know me more, get a little bit more vulnerable with y'all and personal. This is just a new part of my life that I'm loving, and the fact that I've gone from not liking to share with the people to wanting to include you guys in a lot of my life is just so cool. The fact that I get to do it this way and not necessarily have to be all up in someone's face, having to force myself into a crowd or in a group of people, it's just very much so perfect for me. You know, I get to express myself and build connections with other people, but I still get to like be alone and not have to push myself into like an extroverted environment or make myself become super extroverted. At the end of the day, I'm still just in front of my camera. That's what makes me feel like this is my thing, just cut out perfect for who I am. And I can't wait to grow even more and now get to share it with everyone else. So when it does come down to making the content, editing my content, that is exactly what now makes me excited to be on social media and makes me want to be a part of the social media scene, because now I get to share what I love. You know, I'm not just sharing random things and just putting too much of my business out there. It's like, it's very intentional with what I'm sharing, and it's what I love, which is my hair stuff, my cool TikToks, promoting my YouTube videos. In between doing that and the excitement that it gives me and like the connection that I feel from doing that with other people prompts me to want to share a little bit more. So now I've even been on Snapchat so much more, just sharing little parts of my life and sharing my feelings, and it just feels very fulfilling in exactly the way that I wanted to feel when I was at that point, graduated, wanted something to do, to feel purposeful. And at that time when I accepted the salon job, this was the feeling that I was looking for. And I love it so much. Even down to editing, I really despise those times in the past where I don't gotta be to work, I don't have any plans for the day, all I'm doing is in the bed scrolling for X amount of minutes until my mind says, okay, this is too much consumption. Then I go to YouTube, watch a couple YouTube videos, whether they're informational or just pure entertainment, relaxation. After a while, I would literally feel like, what am I doing? Like, this is not contributing to my life right now, and I really do not like that feeling. And now that I'm always creating content, I always have something to edit. It's a way for me to exercise my brain, my mind, my creativity, because if you don't know, editing is a lot of work. But for me personally, it is so satisfying having 2 hours, 3 hours of footage and then slowly making that progress into a 10, 15, 30-minute video. That is so satisfying for me. And I love that it's a way for me to express my creativity, like I said, because I never used to feel like I was creative. Even as a kid, like seeing other people know how to draw at such a young age and being able to play instruments and just pure talent. I never felt like I had a talent where I could really express creativity. Now, y'all, I found it. It comes through filming and just being myself and editing my videos in a way that represents me. This is it. Like, this is it. And I've only been editing for 10 months now, but I think every day, like, oh my goodness, I'm only gonna grow from here. I'm only gonna find new styles and new softwares, and it just excites me. So when I'm editing, it takes me to a place where this is contributing to my future. Like, with every edit, with every export of a video, every upload of a video, it is contributing to a bigger picture that I have for my life. When I'm sitting down and editing, regardless how much work it takes, regardless if I'm not in the mood that day, as soon as I get in the flow of it, it's like when you start an assignment for school. If you're a bookworm like me, when you think about an assignment, it's one thing. And it's annoying. But when you start it and then you get that flow and you know where you're going with it, it's so therapeutic. And that's what editing is for me. That's how I think about it. I started my YouTube not only from a standpoint of wanting to share what I love and to build connections with people, because that's not what I naturally do in person. I viewed it from a business standpoint and knowing that I can take this somewhere else. YouTube is my business baby. That's always how I describe it to myself, because this is just the seed that is going to plant a huge oak tree and legacy that I'm going to build. I'm working towards something bigger. But with that being said, I just want to encourage anybody watching to try new things. I don't care what anybody else is doing, what your parents is telling you, your spouse is telling you. Try whatever is on your heart, whatever is on your mind. Do it. Just do it and don't wait too long. Research is good. Putting all your ducks in a row is good, but don't wait too long. Don't listen to too many people. Don't even tell too many people. Just try it for yourself. See how you feel about it while you're in the process, and then determine if it's right for you. When you know what you don't want to do, that's still a step in the right direction. So the least that you can do is knock things off that list until you find that one thing that sticks. And then you'll feel that much better and more confident about your choice, because you tried everything else. You know, you listened to your heart at the time. You put in the work. You took that calculated risk, but it didn't work out. And one day, no matter how long it takes, I promise you, you will end up where you were meant to be. Everything that you did happened for a reason. It primed you to get where you will end up. Listen to you, listen to God and the signs that he's giving you. It's you and him. Like, that's it. Because at the end of the day, if everybody vanished within a snap of a finger, it's you and him. Baby, just do it, and do it now. Okay, do it now, and do it with grace. Do it with faith. Don't look back. Do it with your all. Just be intentional, be confident, believe in yourself. That's all you need. At the end of the day, you have to be disciplined and you have to believe in yourself and the bigger picture. If you're doing something for solely one reason, more so a shallow reason, you're not going to get much out of it long term. But be intentional, have a bigger picture, have big dreams for your life. You're really going to look back and regret that you didn't take that chance, you didn't take the opportunity, you didn't take the risk. At the end of the day, like, life is a game. Just move the pieces around and see what happens. Press the gas on life. In doing so, I feel like I'm growing every day and becoming more comfortable with showing myself. I do have so much in store for you guys on my YouTube channel. I'm so grateful for you guys. I just want our connection to grow and my community to grow. So make sure you guys join the squad, because I am going to be getting more personal with you guys. I want to take you guys along my journey just a little bit more. I love me my hair videos, y'all. That's really my life. My life is doing my hair. My first ever therapy session was styling my hair. Like, wash day is my therapy. That's just my love. Like, that's what keeps me sane and what makes me feel most like myself. So those are great and I love them, and a lot of you guys love them as well. But when I do them, I don't feel like I'm really talking to y'all, you know? Like, I don't feel like I'm really present with you guys necessarily. They're very much tutorial style, and I just want us to chill. Like, I literally want to hang out with y'all. As much as I feel like I don't know you guys that much yet, I'm sure you feel the same way. So I want to start to chat and chill and just hang out, because I'm so grateful for you guys. I just want you guys to be in on what I got going on, because your support means so much. It means so much. You guys are such real ones. I feel like I rambled throughout this video, but I'm so happy that I finally got this out. I hope I didn't miss anything, and I hope you guys got something out of this, me just rambling. Definitely follow my Instagram down below because I want to start posting like Q&A questions and stuff like that for you guys to ask me so I can make more sit down videos like this. I would really love to. I want to get into that. So follow my Instagram, follow my Snapchat. I'm active on there pretty much all the time now. If you stayed this far in the video, honey, mwah, mwah, mwah! Like this video if you guys enjoyed it and if you want to see more like this. And you already know, if you want to see more from me, because I got more for you, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all babies in the next one. Bye.